Good morning. It is Thursday, and there's a lot to look forward to today. I get to work with my advanced kids today, and I'm excited about that because the projects are getting interesting and challenging, and I have high hopes for what we'll accomplish today. We have another block day, which I love, because the day starts a little bit later, and I get to work more intensely with people. So that's great. I've already been for a 6.5 mile run, and it was good. The half marathon is coming up so quickly. It's a week from Saturday, so I totally don't feel prepared. I need to ramp up the training a little bit. Really hope I can do a sub 2 hour half. That would, even if it's a little bit, that would be a nice goal to accomplish. I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting up with that person tonight for a conversation or drinks, walking the dog. And I had some really good conversations yesterday. I can't remember at this point how much I've talked about them, but yeah, there was a moment at which it was just my trainer and I in the ring. We were talking about saddles, and then I asked her about how much people at the barn knew about my situation, and she said that she thought people knew that I was going through a breakup, but that they didn't really know the particulars of the infidelity and the heartbreak on that level. That was just kind of nice to know. And then I hung out with a friend yesterday. We had a really good conversation just about the person who's trying to divorce me, truths and perhaps not truths that she told a lot of people for a long time, and whether or not they're true. What's real, what's not real, how much of it's fabricated, why it would be fabricated, it's mystifying at this point. So I'll probably do some more work into figuring out some of the things if they were true or not, but I'll let you know. It's so funny. I think I was just saying this morning that, yeah, it's a little too quiet, that I haven't heard anything from her. And I checked the mail yesterday, and I just checked the mail on the way in this morning. It's about 7:30 in the morning right now. Inside the mailbox is just a little placard that has like the last names of whoever's in the place so that the mail person can easily put the letters away. So I opened the mailbox, and her last name on our placard has been all scribbled out in pen. So I guess 2.5 months later, she has finally gotten around to forwarding her mail elsewhere. But there's no class to it. It's not like she blacked it out or tore off the paper. It's just like scribbled out in ballpoint pen. And it's so consistent with how we've done all of this, isn't it? Just scribble it out, the hell with it. And then the other thing just about her, when after she had emptied her stuff out of the storage space, it's a padlock with 4 digits on it. So I reset all the digits to 1, and I checked the storage space yesterday, and the padlock had been messed with, like the digits were different. So I thought, oh, maybe she came back to get the rest of the clothes that were in there. But nothing that I could see was changed. And then it made me think of that Dane Cook breaking and entering routine, where he talked about like breaking into somebody's house and not taking anything, and then having them just wonder, like, what did they take? And how it would lead to the ultimate, like, falling apart of the family because they couldn't figure out what was taken in the B&E. That's what I felt yesterday. I was looking through the store. It's like, what's moved? What's different? But it was all just there. So it was very strange. Another little severing thing of, like, scribbled out name. And part of me wonders if it was in response, like, if she knows that I'm going to try and meet up with his ex-girlfriend and talk to her. And that could just be my guilty conscience sort of projecting. But I have nothing to be guilty about. She wants to have a baby with her boyfriend and doesn't want to be married to me anymore. So scribbling out her name is totally something that should have been done weeks ago. Even so, the act of just seeing it right now, it just not even a stab in the heart. It just kind of pings my heart a little, like, huh, well, she's just showing another color. I have therapy this afternoon. What's funny, knock on wood, hold on, wood. There hasn't been a lot of traumatic things so far since the last time I had therapy. So what I'm hoping is that we can actually do more progressive work on me and not just respond to terrible things that have happened. That could be a really cool day. I'm gonna eat some cold pancakes left over from yesterday morning and get ready for school and have a great day. Keep your fingers crossed that she doesn't cancel on me again tonight, and I actually get to meet up with her and have a conversation just about what she knew about how their relationship started, and maybe there were signs I missed. I might come away from the meeting with her being really embarrassed, being like, oh my God, she thinks they started X number of months ago and they were running off. Like, I have no idea what might come out of this. And it could be profoundly good or bad, or we could both be clueless people, or I might hear some kernel of something where I'm like, oh, that changes everything. But I don't know. I will, of course, keep you posted, and I'll catch up with you later. I do wonder how paranoid I am looking in the mailbox this morning and seeing that she had crossed out her name from our list of names. It kind of affected me. And it's funny, she's not parked here today, which means she's not here, which means she probably didn't come here this morning and do that. But I would swear that when I checked the mail yesterday, it wasn't crossed out. But I'm probably just wrong. But I think our perceptions can be funny. You know, and just because I didn't notice it doesn't mean it wasn't there. But since I'm kind of like feeling sure of myself, like, oh, I would have seen it. I didn't see it. But it still makes me think, was she here today? Did she, you know, blah, blah, blah. What does she have planned? It's Thursday. What's gonna happen? And I'm probably just being crazy. So what's the lesson in that? Sometimes things aren't as bad as they seem like they could be, but I don't think that's a good perspective to have, particularly not now, because she's capable of hurting me probably in ways I haven't even imagined yet. I think it's just a little sort of like warning to myself, like be perceptive, but don't be paranoid. I think that's what I'm gonna try and take from this. Okay, another day is done, and it was awesome. It was such a good, positive, strong day. Had a really good time with the kids. We got a lot done. I bought myself something. Is it a little crazy? Yeah. But I think symbolically it's important. I bought a gray Malin print. To be specific, I bought a gray Malin triptych. And it's pretty much the one that was hanging in AV8 that made me think I could live there, that made me think I'd be okay. And since I'd never purchased anything from him before, there was a 20% discount that made the price, well, it just encouraged me to buy it. So I did. And I'm going to frame them and hang them. Yeah. I think more so than the chair, this will be me taking ownership of my life and of my aesthetic and of something I want that I acted on, that I will hang in my new place, that will make me happy on, and it's a beautiful triptych. So it will make me happy outwardly and inwardly, and it's symbolic of progress and growth. I'm really, really excited. Yeah. A little nervous because spending money is iffy right now, but I believe in this. It's gonna be good, and I'll show you once they arrive and once I frame them. It's gonna be cool. So yeah. All right, I have therapy in a little bit, and I'm hoping there's nothing at my house to set me off. But if that's the case, then this might be one of the first therapies where I'm not utterly distraught going in, and maybe it can be progressive. That's my hope. So I gotta go. It sounds like I might be meeting up with his previous girlfriend this evening, and I think that could be a really interesting conversation. So let's see if we have a good Thursday. I hope your Thursday's great, and I will see you later. No major drama here. The white car wasn't parked here, even though I thought it would be, so I braced for something that didn't happen. The one thing that I should have seen coming, and was pretty sure, I checked the mail, and there's a thing from the post office saying that she had put in for a change of address form. And, you know, just like everything else, she doesn't live here. Of course she doesn't live here. It's flippin' weird that she was still getting mail here. It totally makes sense, but it's still just another tangible connection being cut. And because I'm a really sentimental person, each connection getting cut, I feel. And that's okay, because I'm in a good mood today. Because I was so invested, because I was all in, I'm okay today with feeling the pain of each thing being separated, because it was all real to me and it was all important. She's gone, she's ended it. We're done, I know that. Just little cuts, little cuts, little cuts. It is sounding like I might have plans this evening, so I'm nervous and excited about that. I should go, bye. Okay, that was great. It was really nice to have a really positive session and to just talk about the good things and sort of check in to make sure that the decisions I'm making are for the right reasons and are going in the right value directions. And I really think they are. You know, I'm meeting up with his ex-girlfriend tonight for a drink, and there's a lot of positives, but then I did ask toward the end, like, am I being reckless? And, you know, we stopped and talked about it, and I feel like I'm doing it for the right reasons for me. It's something I've wanted to do for more than 2 months. You know, I've wanted to talk to her and just meet up and connect with her, because she's sort of the other half of this. And I know that their relationship was different than mine, but, you know, she went through a similar situation and she's dealing with it, and she knows what his deal is and can make sense of it, and maybe I can offer her some sense. And, you know I need to be careful with what I reveal and what I don't, but what I know is this, that when she finds out I've met up with who I'm meeting tonight, she will take it as a personal affront. I did it to hurt her. I did it to be mean. She knew it would upset her if I did. And it's taken me this long to, with confidence, say, no, I'm doing this for me. It's got nothing to do with you anymore. You're gone. You've changed your life. This is for me. So I'm pleased with that. I'm gonna keep this short because I need to drive north. I will keep you updated. It should be an interesting evening. Have a good one. So we met up tonight and it was pretty fantastic. Met up at a place in Del Mar. Traffic wasn't bad getting there, and I was substantially kind of nervous, not really knowing what to expect, you know, having only met her a little bit. It's hard to know how something like that's gonna be. But it all went really pretty well. Turns out we have a whole lot to talk about, and we've both been through some crap. So we met at 5:40 or so, maybe 5:45. And talked until 8:15 or so. That's a little dark, huh? Make light? Nope, no way to make light. Maybe I should talk to you more in a minute. Yeah, all right, I'll be back. Driving up to Del Mar and meeting up with the other half, the one that they got broken up with on the other side, was really, really interesting. She picked a place we should go because I don't know great places to go in Del Mar. So I drove up and I met her, and I got a little bit nervous because I didn't know what to expect. You know, I'd only met her once, maybe twice before, even though we've shared a pretty intense experience on opposite ends of the spectrum. So I got there early, and she showed up, and I gave her a hug, and we got a table outside under the heaters by the fire, which is awesome. It was nice and warm. We just started talking, and we talked about just about everything in the whole process, or maybe not everything, but you know, we started at 5:45, headed home at about 8:15. 2.5 solid hours of talking about what we've been through. Revealed a lot of things. I don't know how to do this yet because I don't know how much to reveal. Things were told to me in confidence, so I don't know what I can say. What I know I can say is that I feel fairly confident now that they weren't screwing around before the trip to Europe. She firmly believes that he just wouldn't have been capable of that kind of thing. They both appear to be serial monogamists, so they're with who they're with, and then when they move on, they move on. She reassured me a bunch of times that he was not into her. He had particular thoughts about her earlier on. So it does appear that she very actively was pursuing him, and she had feelings for him, and she pushed the whole situation. I believe that. You know, she developed these feelings and then she just pushed for it. She probably thought she couldn't get him, so that made it all the more appealing. I mean, in terms of things that'll get edited out, what I think was interesting was that when my half came home from the trip, she broke up with me immediately. And when he got back, he didn't. It took a week or 2 weeks for him to break up with her. And he had sex with her. That's weird. That doesn't feel like things were balanced. You know, when she asked him if he was in love with her, my ex, he said he just didn't know. And maybe he was, you know, wasn't being totally forthcoming, but he definitely didn't say yes. She didn't know that the two of them were living together, which I think is fascinating, seeing as she sees him every day at work, which is terrible. She indicated that people are sort of getting used to the situation now. She was really surprised that he was as okay with the situation as she is. She thought it was better than that. We talked about that and explained it. It does definitely seem that he is soft, you know, like not my more masculine counterpart. He has confidence issues, and he has issues that, well, don't make him that much different from me. Mostly it was just nice to talk and commiserate and go through it and talk about what a hard time it was and how fucked up the situation is, that normal people don't do that. That's not how you end a relationship. And she was at a different place than me with him, but it was still handled badly. You know, and apparently he wrote her and her whole family a really nice letter saying, I can't remember what she said it said, but so his reputation at the barn isn't good. They think he is a slut. We shouldn't look kindly on him because he didn't have to do what he did. So she doesn't wish either of them well, and I agree with that. But I do feel more strongly now than ever that this is all he's doing. Like, she pushed it. It was her agenda. She made it happen. She told me how she just went to Holland to look at horses and how sort of bougie it was and everyone kisses your ass and blah, blah, blah. I knew that she wasn't going to buy a horse, that she didn't really have the budget for the kind of horse. Oh, and that she'd gone from having $70,000 to spend to $100,000 to spend. And what's funny is she never talked to me about that. You know, the financial side of it was never something we discussed, but I knew. And that's peculiar. The Charlotte Dujardin clinic, apparently she was really upset that she couldn't go to that, or that he didn't invite her to go to that. She never told me. Like, there's all these things I'm hearing about how upset she was that I was never privy to. It's really peculiar.